Alright guys, let's go. So game by Base Escape, basically. Base Escape. Now you see what their name actually means. It's pretty simple, the way they make games, I guess, right? Yeah, so Vanillaware, that's a name I haven't heard in a very long time. Their other games that I have played have been Final Fantasy Tactics. So when I saw how similar this one looks, like the battle mode and planning the attacks and everything, it looks very similar to that. I was like, where have I seen this before? Like, I've definitely seen it before. And I did in like Tactic Reborn or something. Final Fantasy Tactics Reborn or something like that. Been a while. I think there's like one video of it on my channel, unless I deleted it. But yeah, just anyways, whatever. You'll know. You just search any Fire Emblem Final Fantasy Tactic game is like, you can tell how very similar it is to with this game and the way that it works. Art style too. I like that, like, you know, it uses this like simplistic art style, but add a type of like, you know, texture and detail appearance wise of these different people and surroundings. I find that to be a very nice, great enhancement that you can like look forward to playing it. Me personally, I wasn't very impressed when I first heard of it. So as to why this is the first ever episode of Unicorn Overlord, because it's the first time I'm playing it. So I was kind of put off by the art style and stuff. Like it was when it came out, it was like my era of like wanting 3D, wanting like beautiful, gorgeous looking games. But after playing like Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, I saw how much can be done by having, you know, like the character model simple, those types of things more simpler, and them putting more investment into the overworld and just overall in general remaking stuff. It started to, you know, take a step back and be like, you know, these games are actually pretty cool. Let me try them out and let me judge for myself, right? And that's one thing. That's the technical side of it, right? Analytical side of it. Now to tell you the foolish side of it was that when it first came out, I didn't really know exactly what it was and what it was about, and it was to the point that like I think it came around the time frame of Engage, and with Fire Emblem Engage, because like one of the Guardian dudes, like this guy over here next to Queen Ilenia, there we go. Now I got it right. Yeah, Joseph looked very similar to the guy and the tutor, protector, whatever, and, you know, obviously played a very similar role to him. So I thought that Unicorn Overlord, long story short, was gonna be very sad, very cringe. I hope you're ready for it. I thought the Unicorn Overlord was a new class that Fire Emblem Engage introduced to Fire Emblem. Oh my god, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, guys. I seriously thought that Unicorn Overlord was a new class in Fire Emblem instead of it being completely separate and its own thing, and basically like this world's version of the goddess is in the divine dragons and all that. It's a divine unicorn, so maybe we'll find out more about that later on into the story. Hope I'm looking forward to that, man. Like there's like unicorn symbols like everywhere. The queen has it on her skirt. There's a unicorn statue behind in the setting. The colors are also very similar to the unicorn, so yeah, they're definitely simping for that. Or simping for it. Truly they are. Joseph, please. But that's the thing, that like story so far didn't really feel like big different thing. It was more of the gameplay that was like so different and strange to me. The story of it is the way that it's starting and you guys are seeing it, not the most original thing, but I guess sometimes it's better to do that than to be like, think of yourself as this like completely magnificent intellectual person that, you know, needs to open the gates to better quote gameplay and story wise, and just end up making all that just more convoluted than it needs to be. So I guess I can appreciate simpler stories on that front, which is why like I can almost always like appreciate Dragon Quest because of these things. Story is very simple, but what you do within it is pretty fun and makes you think. You can't just button mash your way through it. And yeah, there's another thing I hadn't noticed was the levels that these different units have. Yeah, so now the death of the queen, spoiler alert, makes sense because she's level 4 taking on level 9. Yeah, the Zenorian cavalry, Elenia's unit, Zenorian. Yeah, so yeah, what I was talking about when it comes to the tactics and the way that how the battle system looked, it was basically this, you know. I don't think I probably, and it's Like, just this whole menu is so exact and similar to that game and that series. It's almost insane how that is the case. The difference is I can't really give these guys orders aside from simply having them guard, attack, and be in the position and in front of who they are to make use of all of their abilities. But otherwise, they make the actions on their own. So that's very strange for me, something very new for me,
My magic is yours.
and something I can grow to appreciate. You know, not used to not being fully in control of everything, and it kind of put me off too at the beginning in this tutorial. But it's a give and take. I hope you guys like. But damn, that guard, man, that guard was freaking epic. Dude was like, and she's gonna play. Triple hits. Love it. And like, simple but effective. And I like that. And well, to explain to you guys also, right? Like with the spears and the way that they're using it. So the guy that came up and used the spear. So if there was people like behind him, what the long spear does is that it allows them to hit multiple people. So like could have a unit that's in front of another unit, but with the long reach that the spear has, it could still injure the other person. So you really have to use your brain in some ways, and in some ways no. Which I definitely didn't use it, right? I didn't use my brain on time. Because I didn't know, this is how it's gonna work out, and how, like, I don't have that type of control over them. But the fact that you're like leading armies exactly to like defeat other armies, and there's a huge push between you defeating the first groups of units and then moving forward with that, and then them having separate armies and separate units that are coming after you adds a different type of like strategy, and something new, something different. Yeah, something a lot of people just don't do nowadays. So I've been trying to get my hands on stuff like that, playing different types of games, different ways, even like trying to become like, just be more into it. Yeah, explore, that's been my memo with these newer games. I really wanted to dip my toes in a lot of stuff. Which you shall see.
You seek to plunge the continent into war.
Because me, as a person, I'm so used to, playing games from my childhood. Like, there's a reason why I stick to RPGs. I love art, but there's like a certain aspect of it where I'm just like giving the orders, they're executing it, and the style of the tale that is being told, the stories and stuff. So story-wise, this game is very so far within the first hour, similar to every other RPG I have played before, unfortunately. Or fortunately, right? But yeah. So with that on the way, they're being very similar, but when I saw Valmore and that creepy sage dude, I was like, ooh, this is getting me hooked. I love this type of gothic horror. What? Horror? Does it count as horror? I know I'm saying like horror, and it's starting to sound like horror. Horror? Horror? I guess it's not really horror, but, it's that overall vibe of like, people stuck in a castle or in a house, an ancient house or whatever, and then like murders in the building, and then you trying to figure out who the murderer is, and people are just dying every other night because you didn't solve it on time or you accused the wrong person. It's giving me that vibe. At least it was. Now we're going to be going into more beautiful times. In the year 895, the Hallowed Chronicle, claiming himself a scion of the following: Zenoiran. I mean, he fell them first. He's the reason why they fell. Like, the heck? Is the game not going to address that? Oh, they do. Grand Corinne.
Against his erstwhile home at the seat of its monarchy, Grand Corinne. Its queen, Elenia.
Please don't tell me that this army dude is gonna be possessed.
Stood unshrinking as the shield to her son Elaine's safe flight.
I'd rather him be
And
evil for the sake of being
mustering when
evil.
forces remained by her side. She rallied a defense as valorous as it was damned.
And then, oh, it's cool they showed this too. We're jumping islands to get as far away from him as possible.
Care of the young prince fell to her
Asylum on the
faithful knight,
foremost isle of
Joseph,
Pelavia,
who took wing beyond
Holy Kingdom
Valmore's
Albion.
wretched grasp to asylum on the Fornit Isle of Palavia.
It's cool.
in
I
the
hope we
Holy
have like
Kingdom
a
of
huge
Albion.
not open world in that case, but an world to
Ambitiously
explore to see
proclaiming
the
himself
different
Evereth's new
people
emperor,
that abide within,
Valmor donned a second
you know,
name,
slowly turning them all
Galerius,
against this evil
and
dude.
began a relentless onslaught the
Legit,
continent's
like when you turn
nations
lions
could only
or
but
horses or
struggle
whatever.
against.
Okay. So what do we have? At the top, we have some wolves. On the left side, we have like
Yet
fairies.
each
On the
realm's
bottom, we
endeavors
have
fell in
like
vain
elves or
time and
stuff like
again.
that with deer.
And
And the
ere long,
guy
Valerius'
has
vile dominion
come to
was realized.
take over all of them. Somehow,
His blood-soaked
fused in against.
unification come to bear.
That was something
Few
new.
dared
I
stand
thought it was
against the
gonna be
ironclad fists
a
of Emperor
tale of
Galerius.
slow but steady gathering allies
of
against him, but the
resistance
dude has
burned
taken
on.
over the world already.
Yet the
I didn't expect that.
downtrodden
Okay,
complain only to
so
further
disregard my
those
previous
suffering.
comments. He took full
Desperate
control of
prayers
everything
which fell
and
upon
fast.
deaf ears, night after
Wonder how he did
unceasing
that.
night.
First seven Cornea. 10 years.
10 years have passed
Man is
since the
doing
Shroud of
his
War
best
first set over Cornea.
for be able to do that much conquest by within 10 years. Applaud him. What the British and the French couldn't do in 100 years war, the dude managed to do it within 10 years.
I wonder if those two are at it again.
And here we have Miss Scarlet, our resident mage,
Well,
healer,
that takes care of the
whatever.
altar.
I don't know if that
I
is
suppose
combined
I
in this
should be
game or
getting
something.
back.
Probably, maybe. She seems that way. Presented by Atlas. And sound production by Basescape. Okay, never mind. It's actually no, it is developed by VanillaWare. That's why it's so different, similar. Which is another cool thing. Like you guys should like, with me like mentioning these things. Like, it's such a fun like rabbit hole to go through by looking up like what these
Sorry,
developers are and
this
what they've
round's
developed in the
mine.
past, and then
you
their
always were the
habits.
optimist.
I mean, I wouldn't even know if I didn't play the Final Fantasy Tactics games, man.
Got a good hit in. I'll give
We
you
have
that.
Mr. Redhead friend who
There's just no
is
stopping you these days.
hot-blooded,
Yet you've grown no less than I have.
and our blue-haired main
Still,
character
we could likely train for the rest of our lives, and even then, never manage to best Joseph.
making liberation.
Weird to think he's back on the mainland
Zanora
now.
soon.
Finally
Well,
making
there's
that liberation army thing a
Dude,
reality.
Zelaine.
Guess that means we'll be going
Lapornia
up against
suffering
Annoyers
Lex.
soon.
Lex Luthor. Oh my
Indeed,
goodness.
it does.
When heroes become
The
enemies.
people of Cornea are suffering, Lex.
They named
Crying out for whatever
like
help will hear their
definitely that's where
pleas.
my brain went when I was like,
Should
her
I
name?
turn a deaf ear to
Lex
those
Luthor.
voices, I would have little
From
and less
Superman,
claim
if you
to the
don't
crown
know.
I
I'm
feel
sure
is
everybody
mine.
knows actually though.
That, and I
How
owe it
wouldn't
to
you
my
know
mother
this?
to
But,
see
you know,
them safe.
we're gonna fight against that.
Well,
Lex,
yeah, but
aren't you supposed to be brash and
Samira's got the
cool?
whole world
Come
in the
on,
palm
man.
of their hand. How are we gonna fight back against that?
You gotta point
The earth
there.
may be theirs. The heavens will surely favor those who stand for justice.
No worries, Lex. It's our main
You got a
character
point there.
syndrome.
Sorry for not sounding all too confident. Just make sure you don't take it all on yourself. I'll be with you every step of the way.
Thank you, Lex. You know I can't do this without you.
Now they're happy and smiling, which is nice.
Oh, stop.
That's enough training for
You're gonna
today.
make me
We'll miss
blush.
lunch if we don't keep moving. So what is
Anyway,
it?
that's enough training for today.
Oh,
We're gonna miss lunch if we don't get moving.
I
Uh-oh.
suppose it is that time.
Something is approaching.
You see something out there?
Uh-oh. Well, your wish got answered, Lex.
Looks like they're flying Zenoira colors too.
This island is no longer safe. We have to tell the others.
Good
With
to
you
know
there.
that they're not like. This is
You
another
head for the
surprising
cathedral.
thing
I'll make sure
in
the
my
town knows
eyes
what's coming.
is that they didn't run to go like, we're gonna fight those Sonoran bastard. No, they actually went ahead and tried to save the people of, at the place that they're living in.
Not a soul gets off this island.
Priorities, Unicorn Overlord, 3 thumbs up to you. I love your priorities. That they didn't just like go all hot-headed and be like, we're gonna go defeat those bastards.
vanguard to the cathedral.
We're like, we're gonna protect the people and warn the church. Good.
Alive.
You're doing good. Grand Palavia Cathedral. Hi, Scarlet. Oh, now go from a queen to goddess to a god.
O Heavenly Father, ruler of land and sky
Yeah, whatever.
above,
Fably,
we
whatever.
pray
You know,
this day for
grant us the meager
deliverance from
sustenance.
evil. Grant us the meager sustenance to nourish our fragile bodies in the times to come. Guide our lost souls on the path to salvation.
I was so scared for. I'm so
Shining
scared
down
for
your
Scarlet.
radiant light upon us, for darkness looms thick through all corners of
'Cause-
Fevrith. Such is my request as your humble servant.
Oh, what? So who is the god then?
In
The
the name of the guardian
lady or the
unicorn
dude?
and that of the
Or the
Holy
unicorn?
Mother.
Or is the unicorn just an ambassador?
Is that you, Elaine?
And if you're wondering why she's in such
How
a
many times
strange
must I ask you not to
stance,
stomp around in the cathedral?
that's just basically like a Japan
What is
thing.
the meaning of this?
Like they like to draw, or
Well, look
maybe
what
I guess
we've
just
got
in
here.
general, like
Seems
they
we're
love
the
that
first to
pose
show.
of like the weak
Rough her up
lady
if you want,
and like
but don't forget,
her
the
like
girl
in this
gods
very
have
impractical
power
way
to
of
rule
standing,
too.
and especially
Such
during
depravity
battles.
will
But
not go
yeah,
unpunished.
this
Not in the house
toad
of the
pigeon
Heavenly Father.
thing is like apparently
Yeah?
a
Then
big
you
thing over
best
there
get praying.
and within their media. So yeah, if you guys were wondering where that comes from, it's weird, because to me it is also something that I started to notice, and like back when I was an artist. Yeah, I used to draw it,
Only
man.
a little shaken, that's all.
I used to draw like that too, but I would always find it weird that they would have that pose. I'm like, that doesn't make
hoisting the banner of the
sense.
Sonoran army.
Doesn't equal, you know? So that's why I'm like explaining it
Are they aware that you're the crown
for
prince?
those who don't know.
I can't say for certain, but we know
Like
one thing.
seriously, like, if you
These
have,
people are
it's gonna be a
our
rant, but like
enemy,
if
and they
you
must be
have
stopped.
your feet going like that, how exactly
Yes.
are you gonna move fast
My
enough to get
cathedral
away
will
from?
see no more bloodshed
Well,
this day.
yeah, she changes it when she runs, right?
Come,
And then she goes back
let's
to
move
that
outside.
style. But it's also kind of a way to make her look meek,
Your Highness, it's a relief
kind of
to
a thing
see you
right there, right?
unharmed.
Little like
Hold
lot
on.
more
Where's Lex?
defenseless
He went to head
than
to alert
the
the town.
other
We
characters.
best find him and get to the
So
harbor.
we got our resident female
Indeed.
knight on the side too.
But
So
first,
probably his
my
defense.
prince,
A
this
ring.
belongs to
Oh my
you.
goodness, rings making a return also. What is happening over here? Are we
ring
just
of
obsessed
the
with rings?
unicorn.
Is that who I am?
Queen Elenia wished for you to have it.
Any game that has rings in it, I'm gonna
truth,
be
I had
playing it
intended to
now.
wait till signs of age played more
The
deeply
atmosphere,
across your
you see,
face.
secured.
But we no longer have such
Thank you,
luxury.
keepsake. Very,
I have
very
the
important
utmost
keepsake.
faith you will
Elaine,
see it
you better
secured.
keep hold of it.
A keepsake from my mother.
Thank you, Joseph. Truly. Now go and become a
Thank you for
martyr.
this, Joseph.
But you know, you see, like before, when we were a child,
Make no
he
further
had
mention
black
of it.
hair. Now he has white
Now,
hair. So
let us be off.
very, very similar to that dude in Engage. Has a victory condition that must be fulfilled in order to complete it, such as defeating. Yeah, these things. Now it's telling me, but you know, classic me not having the ability to be patient and read all the information, which as a kid I used to do all the time, reading so much of their information, you know, like getting in. But as an adult, for some strange reason, I don't want to. It's so mind-boggling, but it is the case. And honestly, through this thing, I was like terrified for life, because I was like, is it gonna be the trope of where like he's going into the battle right now, he's gonna get killed and we'll be too late, and that would be the main reason for our hero going like, yes, we have to fight for life. I was terrified for him, man, terrified. But let's see if that does indeed end up being the case. Oh god, like that's just the thing, like playing this game, like my mind was wandering, and for some reason I became so endeared to the characters so fast. I don't know, I think it's just a me thing. It's a skill, perhaps it's a skill issue in my brain. Yeah, flow of battle. Here it's gonna tell you initiative attack, which is cool. It's kind of like playing this game, it's like you're watching a movie, so there's a lot of time for you to like just kind of sort of sit back, relax, and figure things out, because them doing things without you giving them the order allows, yeah, like I said, sit back and relax for a bit and figure it out. They use up PvE, so passive skills use that. Quick heal skill triggers when ally takes out, thus healing that ally. So yeah, these things, you know, I didn't really pay attention to while I was playing it. Now, as a voiceover for you guys, as a guide for you guys, I can learn from these. You guys and I can learn from this, you know? But both the action points plus for the attacks. Yeah, that's the other thing that becomes very essential. And with this game also, similar to everything else I've been doing, there's a lot of them that go on easy mode, but I've been basically just going on normal mode on all these games, because I want to enjoy it. I want to see how it goes, but I also, you know, I want to enjoy it. Even if that means like sometimes having to hurt my toenail. Holy life. And he goes down. Yeah, this part. Yeah, I got the Lex portion very early, but yeah, here we go. Time to conquer Palavia Town for us. We have freed it, gotten 2 valors.
The path is set. 'Tis ours now.
Lex! And he's safe. Thank goodness. Thank you, Lex, for not dying. Parasocial much, aren't I? Yeah. Moving them takes energy too. Like fighting constantly takes energy from the characters. Because right here, what my strategy or
Yes, sir.
lack thereof was about just like Lex going at them himself.
What next?
Like I didn't know how to make them go together. I thought there was a way. That's why I kept clicking back and forth. But yeah, I end up sending Lex
I'm up.
first. You can see the error of my judgment. Because they do have those ability to make your defense go down. It's painful. Look at that. Look at it. Well, already kicking my ass. And he's lost. He didn't lose his HP. He's still lost. What? No, I'll never be. Okay, no, never mind. That's part of the tutorial. Yeah, makes sense. Different units have different degrees of mobility. The higher this status, man, couldn't read through it again. Let's go through it again. Perhaps you guys can pause and see it, right? But like, for me, I can't. All right, go forward, fourth.
The time is at hand.
So that was a way for them to show us the actions and what that leads to. They're like
To me.
precarious.
We march.
And then here there was another type of like deploying, which I also wasn't aware of. Yeah, can put them where I need them to be. So now we'll have the strong knight to take them
Service
out.
of the royal family.
Port Lex. You know, just like sizing them
What
up.
would you
Like
ask?
who was better to go. I am your foe this day. Swapping positions. Press
well.
LNR to have just, you know. Oh, now I know. I wish I knew and paid attention to it while I was playing, but now I know. Now you know. Now I know. Yeah. Slice.
Not looking great.
Gaze
There
upon
he
the face
goes.
of your demise.
I seriously thought like, oh, debuff immunity. That's pretty cool. And yeah, when I was talking about the long thrust, that's what it is. She has that ability. So if there was another person behind that dude, she would have been attacking both of them with her spear.
I have you.
But it's definitely best to keep her a little bit in the back because she gives good attack, right? That she can do a field move. But since that's like seems to be very important, don't put her completely in the front lines because otherwise she won't be able to do her job. So yeah.
I don't know.
Oh. Mr. Knight is going on his own, and we have Lex has Chloe, and I have Scarlet. Prepare yourself, rebels. Of course it is, man. Right, this is the land of the enemy. Reading. Red. It has writing. It's reading. It's red reading. Inside the reading, I said writing. Why is that? Think Fire Emblem, 3 houses. Now, every time you think about anything else, I can only think about wanting mounted classes. Alright, so this was very complicated. I was like, who should I be moving? Who should I be giving levels?
Awaiting your command. By your word.
Ready.
I thought that meant that he was gonna join us. Let's see,
Yes,
did I
sir.
calculate it correctly?
The time is at hand. Onward.
Yeah, it wasn't happening. I was like, what the heck is going on? Oh my god. Come on.
The time is at hand.
I was like, there's gotta be a way for him to join our battle.
To me.
Okay, let's just go for it.
We march.
Man, was I desperate. But look at that.
Onward.
They all move on their own. They didn't need to.
I have arrived.
Card up. Defense up. Nice.
Easy now.
Yeah, luckily though, without me giving orders, it seems like the AI is smart enough. I just have to be smarter. Otherwise, like, it's gonna take my job. Isn't that what
Time is
all
at hand.
America is about?
The path is set.
To be honest with you,
You
I
face me.
prefer AI tons more instead of Elon. Billionaires. Wait, also off topic, but like Americans are very good at being tough when it comes to rich folks. This idea of like simply believing that
What
the
would you
rich
ask?
know what they're doing and
As you
they
wish.
should be looked up to. And it's a very deprecating situation,
To me.
in my opinion, and something that we have to let go of. And the faster that we do, the faster we'll know, like, you know, yeah, for our own survival. Don't count on anyone except yourself and your community. That's the most important part of it all. I mean, you see it in this game, right? Despite all odds and everything, the best foot forward is to defend their home instead of going on a full offensive. Yeah, but political. Don't know how exactly that's all gonna work, but that was just my point. You know, they're very cut when it comes to wanting the approval of rich folks, or to be within the position or eventual position of said rich folk, and not having the
We march.
critical thinking enough to know that they will
Path is set. The time is at
maintain
hand.
you under their foot. Yeah, we're
You
living
face
and we're
me.
learning. Not right now exactly, but eventually I'm hoping, right? Really didn't expect my voiceover commentary to go towards that, but since this game is very, you know, armies versus armies type of thing, and people versus power,
To me.
I feel like it works, it counts, but we have to be rid of all this 40 gold, nice, of all this infantry to take on what's his face. Ooh, we reached a time
Awaiting
limit?
your
What do you mean?
command.
Oh no, to prepare.
Very well.
That was also strange to me.
I shall
Oh
hold
man, I love their
nothing
freaking
back.
insignias. I'm a sucker for insignias, right? Like, I'm a sucker for insignias. I'm a sucker for references. I'm a sucker for analysis of, you know, art. That's me. Hodrick.
Cornea's most decorated knight. I shall close the book on your tale myself.
Why am I always calling everyone Ho? It's Hodrick. Say Hodrick? His name is just funny. If you know, you know, right? I'm sure everyone knows. Wow, that was quick. Such firm defenses. Perhaps my match. Fast forward. Good to know now. ZR. Automatically resume it. Fast forward. And train battles if the game is paused. Interesting. To make it faster. Because I assume it would be pretty slow if they weren't. This option wasn't there.
What would you ask?
But
We
we'll be going
march.
forward. Alright. Go forward. What are you thinking?
The time is at hand.
As I'm saying to my past self, what were you
We
thinking?
march.
Go forward. Rush in there. We'll never learn. Well,
The path is set.
Alright, Hodrick. Get
Gaze
ready
upon the
to
face of your demise.
face your fate. Oh, I didn't expect that. Nice immunity. Holy card. I wonder if we'll be able to get that soon. So what I'm in the thought of, it takes multiple campaigns in order to take down these enemies.
Onward. The time is at hand.
At least that's where I feel it's
To
going.
me. Your
Yeah.
villainy ends here.
18. On my side, there's a 18 damage. Damage taken. Okay, blue damage taken, 18 damage dealt. Now it's just me going between the two,
Come then.
not knowing what
Gaze
exactly
upon
is
the
going
face
on.
I shall hold. Your
I have you guys to
villainy
experience it
gaze
with,
upon the path.
so
Your
you'll know
villainy
what to do.
ends here.
It's actually pretty cool sometimes, you know, like, not exactly play something like as soon as it comes out.
Gaze
Because,
upon
like,
the
kind
face
of gives
of
you
your
time to
demise.
appreciate, I guess. At least that's the excuse I can give, right? With everything else. I mean, like, it's okay for it being a little, perhaps a little too late. like, nice gold. And one general down. Another area conquered.
I've not
Stage has been
chosen my
cleared.
grave yet.
and they have been liberated. Oh, there's a liberation bonus. Mm. Honor is renowned. Oh. Oh yeah, we are basically developing an army in the right way and cool way.
What
New way,
foolishness is this?
basically.
One such as I, brought low by the cornean vermin that gnawed our ankles. You've fallen far indeed, Hodrick. How many times did you stare
Well,
death in the face?
maybe
at Her
perhaps he
Majesty's
was
side?
always meant to be.
Now, look what you've become. I may stand
Man,
as
he's
your
going for
sword
it. He's
master
going for
no
the
longer,
jugular. He's like, I give no
but I
Fs.
can yet offer
I'm gonna
you a
destroy you.
merciful end to your descent.
Our golden-hearted,
Your
sweet-hearted
Highness.
main hero. Tell me,
Tell
Hendrik.
me, Hodrick.
Hendrik.
Do you remember the
Hodrick.
times you and I played together? When I was
That
still
isn't
just a boy?
probably was 12, 13, 12,
Yours was a bond
11S.
of loyalty
Yeah,
few
we haven't
knights
gotten
could hope
12
to
yet.
equal.
11S.
Why cast that aside
Hendrik.
and bend the knee to Galerius?
Hodrick.
I refuse to
Full
cut
reason
down a
is all I
friend
ask,
without
please.
first knowing how
Elaine.
we've reached this grim conclusion.
Elaine.
A simple reason is all I ask.
Ooh, spooky
Please.
ring. The spooky stuff. What sorcery is this? Yeah, it's good sorcery.
The ring.
It's the good kind.
What
Mate,
sorcery is this?
my head. And he was just being zombified.
My head.
Yeah. That one kind of
What am
took
I
a little
doing
bit of like me out of step because that was kind of one of the things I didn't want to be the case, but
A
actually
spell to
makes
shackle the hearts
sense
of men.
with their quick and
Tis
fast
the only way I can think to
betrayal.
describe this, my prince.
But not my favorite
All the
trope,
lords closest to
really.
your mother
I don't
turned upon
F
her without so
with
much as a
possess
moment's notice.
for that reason,
Unfortunately,
evil for that
my
reason,
memories end there
use
as
holy
well.
magic for that reason,
A frightful power,
you know,
if what you say
heal
is
them
true.
and then bring them to your side.
This spell of
Not my
control,
thing.
it could be
Reminds me too
called.
much of Power of Friendship.
Magic would go far in
Whoa.
explaining how Galerius
Roll an anime,
so
whatever. You
swiftly
know.
brought
Reminds me too
Everett
much
to
of
its
Naruto,
knees.
man. Yeah, I
I
can't.
shudder to think what
You can't
unspeakable evil
change
had wrapped
every
upon our
enemy you
world
have
these last
into
10
your
years.
friend.
Though there is
But
no greater misdeed
that seems to be the case
than
with
turning
this.
my
So.
spear
Okay.
upon you, Prince Elaine.
I can let that go.
enough.
I like
You
the
mustn't blame
overall
yourself
campaign
any
though
further.
of picking up on our army.
wonder,
And if we get, you
how
know,
is this
like
ring capable of
unpossess this
unmaking a
dude, how
spell?
exactly are we gonna increase our numbers?
In
The other
truth,
guy has taken
I
over the
believed
whole
it to be mere
planet.
regalia,
So
a symbol of your birthright,
I
nothing
guess
more.
it works in that
To
favor,
think
right?
The power of
Yeah.
cleansing truly exists.
He was about to be beheaded, so good for him.
Your Highness, that
Now you
is
can
the
be
ring
back
of
to
the
being a normal
unicorn,
dude
ancestral treasure of
and
Cornea's
fix his
royal
errors and
lineage.
sins.
Legend speaks of your
The other thing that was
ancestors
strange to
wielding
me
it
was
purify
the
evil.
main character's outfit. I was like, why do you
fiction.
have that? Because to me, like, it just reminds me of dancer clothes, like in every single game. Like they have the drapery in the front and the back, and it's like dancer clothes.
Yo, YG Games, everything we on the rise. No slow moves, I strategize. Game is on, I don't back down. Speed so high, I run this town.